All right, so let's go ahead and play the call.
Much better than my site. That said, I don't think, and I'm going to be.
This is going to be his first objection.
Taking off a good portion of December.
Right.
So I don't think I'm going to want to do anything until after the first of the year.
Well, take.
First objection. He said a few there, but it really was, I don't want to do anything until after the first of the year. And I was waiting. Let's hear what I go with.
8 weeks for search engines to recognize new domain names anyway, so it takes a little while for that stuff to happen. So now is the perfect time.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about doing.
One thing I do recommend, which I didn't do there, he said, we'll potentially wait till after the first of the year. Okay, because it's a decent question, you can buy yourself a little bit of time by reiterating the question, such as, so you're saying you would rather wait till after the first of the year? So you're basically just confirming that you understand the question, but as you're doing that, it gives you a moment to process and gather your thought, okay?
With somebody else in another website with someone else, and that's what I think.
So he tells me that he's talking to another company and they're doing some other marketing stuff as well. This is objection number 2.
Put together with like a team effort and start leave mine going for a while and start.
Keep in mind, this was over 10 years ago. I was not a good listener at this time in life. Okay. I would listen to so much and I process so much, but I would not fully listen. And a huge part of what we're doing today is more consultative. And it's important to remember we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And our best questions come out of the information they give us. So the more we listen, the more information we have to bring to the conversation.
Another one. But like I said, I'm just putting that together right now. So I think I'm going to put it off. But I do like yours a lot better. The whole.
Well, looks are one thing. You haven't really even allowed me to show you the best part yet, and I really know I can earn your business, and it's going to be beneficial for you, Tom.
I really know I can earn your business, and it's going to be beneficial to you, Tom. Sound like a very canned response, but hey, let's see how it goes.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like it. I like the way it looks. I don't know. Like you're saying, what type of optimization, how much better it's going to be placed generically or whatever it is.
Organically.
This is where you guys are going to get my my techie, my geekiness that you haven't really experienced through the real estate stuff we've been doing the last couple of years. But when I worked with iHouse, I was really able to learn a lot about tech, marketing, SEO, algorithm, everything, not to where I can just talk about it, but where I understand it. And that's important when we're doing anything. For me, when I fully believe and understand something, my level of production just goes to a whole other level.
Yeah, organically.
Yeah, I mean, well, the biggest difference than IDX, we have integrated IDX, and so there's a lot more that you can do and get really specific with the marketing that you're doing and break down your market and to make your website user-friendly, but also be able to be found on search terms when people are doing lifestyle searches on Google or different search engines. And you wouldn't have to do anything to set it up besides tell me a couple areas you want to focus in on. I'm waiving the setup fee for you, and it's only $80 a month. The website can be up and running by the end of next week for you.
I saw some of them that you were doing, and now.
So now he processed that. He's like, okay. Now he's asking me if I have any references from clients in his area.
If you have any outside of our areas, like anything in Santa Barbara, anything Cambria, Tuscadero, Paso Robles.
So a lot of times when they have asked me for, other websites and other references, it's really a way for them to buy some time. Because if I didn't have that on hand, now I have to go find those references. And that would mean for him that we can reschedule the call, right? He's looking for a way out. That's what I'm thinking. But I want to keep him in. So let's see what I do.
Organically, I see the ones that come up. And I used to be with a certain person who does optimization in our area, and her people are the number one up there, and they have been for years. It's hard to break in I don't see any improvement with those.
Right. Well, that's one of the reasons why I contacted you. We have a couple.
So he's telling me that he knew about a local SEO marketing company, and they were doing well. It's clear, and I'm not saying I'm an expert in this field when it comes to SEO optimization, but I knew enough, and I knew enough about our solution to where I was an expert in this field. Now, realtors, brokers, they know enough about marketing to where they know how to hire people to help them do it for them if they're smart. And that's okay, because as a realtor, a broker, they're not expected to know every single detail when it comes to the marketing. They're really just, you want to focus on what you're good at and then delegate those tasks. So me knowing that is an advantage.
Of accounts out there, but none of them are my clients doing exactly how our program is set up. We only have about 13 agents using our program out there out of all in the Central Coast Regional, and that'd be one of the reasons why you'd want to use it, because you'd be using something not many.
So my objection to him asking for references are, yes, we have some. However, that holds no weight with how we're going to be doing your website, you see. And so what I'm attempting to do here is escape what he's trying to do. He's trying to delay and have another meeting. I'm trying to escape that and keep everything in this call, because my mind frame is I want to get this deal done in this call.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not ready to make a commitment.
He didn't really buy that. So he said, yeah, well, like I said, I'm not ready. So here's objection number 4.
I just, have you seen, I mean, I just, like I told you, I just spent, $1,000 a month on,
So I know he just spent $1,000, $12,000 a year. Realtors, brokers, they're business owners. And so we know that every single expense when it comes to marketing is deductible. And we also know that the highest producing just business people in general, when it comes to marketing, we have a budget, okay? And if he's even on the phone with me, I know there's room in that budget still. So we keep going.
Have you ever seen Zirple?
Yeah. It works. It's expensive as hell, though.
Yeah. It's a lead follow-up. It's not they don't optimize, it's not as far as placement goes. It doesn't.
Truth be told, I knew of Zirple, but in reality, it did not matter to me. I was going to let him tell me what he thought it was, and I was still going to sell against it, because he's trying to use it to show that he just spent this much money, and that's great. But the point is, our solution that I'm pushing to him right now, it's $100 or less a month, okay? So we're talking about a very small percentage compared to what he's already investing. So for him, he's telling me it's a no, but for me, I see more of a green light.
It's mostly a lead follow-up and pay per click.
Right.
You're paying per click.
Right. I'm pretty familiar with their system, but none of my clients are paying pay per click. They're just following the program and paying $80 a month. We're non-contract. At least give it a shot for a couple of months and let me do the work for you and run it side by side. I know it's going to outperform any of the other sites that you have out there without you even doing anything.
It's non-contract.
He heard that. I make sure to throw that out there. It's non-contract. You're not signing your life away. So now we talk about it a little bit more, and it's going to reel him in a little bit more, because the reality.
It's month to month. Let's just say in 60 days you decide that you're going to, take it down, and then we shake hands and call our friends virtually.
And sometimes when I was communicating, in reality, my goal is to be able to keep our clients on board as long as possible. And so we don't really want them canceling. But if they have that in their mind, then they're thinking it's less of a commitment. But as I mentioned previously, this agent is still with that company. So even though it was a non-contract, he never canceled.
The website, like I said, everything's going to be set up for you. I want to be able to use your site as an example to other clients in your area. But not only that, just the Central Coast. It's not going to take much for you besides a commitment and to be able to pay for a couple of months.
I did just say the word commitment, and I bet I was shooting myself in the foot as I said it.
Even if you decided, at the end of December that you hated me or whatever it may be, you're not going to be tied into anything. It's month to month.
So, so what I was doing,
no.
So now he's actually picturing in his head that this could work. Okay, and I'm hearing that.
That's the original proposal was for you to, instead of having onlinehomes.com being pointed to the E57 servers, it would be pointed to ours. However, if you just wanted to utilize a separate domain name and run it, with a different domain name, side by side, you can do that as well. I would suggest.
So he went from, well, we're like 9 objections in, 9 no's in, to him now asking questions of the setup process. Okay, this is about halfway through the call.
Utilize doing that because you said you are investing into the pay-per-click with your Z site. However, we do get a lot of clients that just switch entirely. But what you would be doing is either using a different domain name or the one you already have and utilizing it with our website program. That's what we'd be doing. I've set everything up for you based on a couple areas you want to focus in on. And the only thing that you would have to do is just sign some forms for the IDX. And give me a couple of areas you want to focus in on, and then I take the reins and set everything up.
So I'm continuing to canvas, continuing to paint that picture of the process in his mind. I'm continuing to simplify how easy it is, how minimal commitment it is. I want to make this as easy as possible for him to pull his credit card out and say, let's do this.
Want to give it a try?
You know what? Not today.
And that's objection number 10, folks. You know what? Not today.
You're right today. What's it going to take? I mean, it sounds interesting to you.
Now he's laughing. Now I'm laughing. I said, Tom, you're right there. I almost got you closed. So I'm basically just telling him, hey, man, let's go ahead and do this. But again, we're only 6 minutes into a 20-minute call. So let's see how the rest of it rolls.
It does sound interesting to me that I just committed into $1,000 a month, and it is working. The other thing is working.
Reiterate everything we've talked about. There's no need for a lot of new information. Just say it differently.
Well, it should work for $1,000 a month, shoot.
Yeah,
that's $12,000 a year. You better be closing like 50 deals a year off that thing.
Yeah, well, you need 3 good ones a year to pay for that.
3 good ones a year. So he just told me that if he does 3 transactions, he's only making $12,000. So in that area, the price point now, you really can't get like a 2-bedroom, 1-bath for less than $1 million. And what it also tells me is he's the type of business professional that is doing he's kind of just thinking about the bare minimum. Oh, it just takes 3 to cover the nut, to cover the expense, right? And that's okay, but it also just tells me, more about him and his business.
Well, that's not very many. I mean, I have clients closing that many a month off $80 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom, you're not going to have to do anything besides.
Now he's like, well, he's thinking in his mind, well, Jeremy's kind of halfway insulting me, but he's kind of bringing value. Because I wasn't really insulting him, but I was kind of trying to make him understand how simple this is and to understand that it's not a big commitment. In reality, if he was to sign up that day, I think it was like a $15 sign up.
A little bit, and it's something that's new. You're not going to be tied into anything. Give us a shot. It's worth the.
That was probably my 7th time saying, give us a shot. Ready to go? Every time there's an objection and we overcome it, go in for the close. The only thing that's going to happen is another objection. If they're still on the phone, you can still talk to them, right?
I think the only way I could do it even then is to do it with a different domain name and point it more to mine because I don't want to.
Woo! And now he's telling me, look, the only thing we got to do is just He's like, let me get this right. All we got to do is this, this, and that. So now he understands and he's listening how simple this is.
I would suggest running it side by side, and I would be willing to bet that our site, just the way we set it up, without you even doing anything, and just me when I set it up, it's gonna come close to producing just as much as your site that you're paying that extra $1,000 a month for. Give it a shot, Tom.
You know what?
Give it a shot, Tom. And he's over there laughing. He loves it. He actually, you know what? He may have just became a client because he enjoyed the conversation. Okay. It was a 20-minute back and forth battle, right?
I can't make that commitment
You
today.
can. It's only $80 a month, and there's no commitment. There's no contract. $80 a month. You spend that much at lunch sometimes.
You spend that much at lunch sometimes, Tom.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I just can't do it today. I don't want to make that kind of commitment today.
Committing to what? Success?
Committing to what? Success?
Yeah. Don't want to be too successful. Right?
I mean, that's not what.
Yep. I said that to him, guys, and he still.
So, see,
I said, committing to what? Success? I thought for sure he was going to hang up at this point, guys. I really did.
I mean, I'm not selling a bunch of BS just off of one website. I mean, I'll make like $100 off of this. At the end of the day, I want you as a client to be able to show other clients in your area that we're able to produce a lot of results organically with our website. And
so I'm telling him, I don't care about the monetary at this point. I've waived the setups. My goal here is to use your website as a demonstration for other potential sites in your area. So I'm going in for, I think, the fourth jab, right? Where I'm just like, okay, well, it could look this way, and let's see how he takes it.
Personal example to other people in your area.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do to get mine out there? I mean, that's what.
This right here, it was the main buying question. He's already kind of listened and reiterated that he understands the process, and now he's repeating to me of what we need to do.
But I don't see the point. I don't see where.
What am I going to do?
Yeah, I mean, how does it get put up there organically?
Okay, so with our IDX, because we have the direct feed from Central Coast, that's the biggest difference between us and Z57, which is why you're paying all that extra money to make it work. So with us, let's just take San Luis Obispo. There's different parts of San Luis Obispo, and I believe it's part of what Santa Ynez Valley or something like that.
No, San Luis Obispo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's different areas within San Luis Obispo. Let's just say there's 5 different areas. So we would focus in on those 5 different areas, and we would create a page for each one of those areas that would have all the listings in those areas that are part of the IDX. And those pages will be constantly updating on a daily basis with fresh, relevant content that are relevant to the subject of the website, which is the meta tags, and also to keywords. So with that, we're also going to break down each one of those pages. So let's just say one of the pages is San Luis Obispo. We can have 10 pages inside of San Luis Obispo, breaking it down by cost, 0 to 100, 100 to 200, 300 to 200 to 300,000, all the way up to $1 million plus, or even by subdivision. And so the whole point being is when somebody goes to Google and they do a search, they know where they want to live, and they know usually how much they want to spend. So these different pages that we're creating, let's just say that there's a neighborhood called the Enclave within San Luis Obispo. This page on your website will have the ability to be indexed and ranked by the search engine. And so when somebody types in homes for sale in the Enclave and they're looking for properties where they want to live, they'll actually land on this page. And this page will constantly update every day. If there's a new listing that meets that criteria, such as the Enclave or San Luis 200 to 300, whatever it may be, those pages are constantly updating. Let's say you have 10, 20, 30, 40 of these pages. We give you as many as you want. I'm going to create like 30 or 40 of them. And each one of those pages are constantly updating, and they're all moving up in the rankings organically, which in turn is going to help the main page move up as well. And so you're going to have all these different pages out there that are being indexed and ranked by the search engines and constantly moving up because they're constantly updating with fresh, relevant content. It's like equal to you going in there and blogging on each one of those pages on a daily basis, but you're not doing anything. What's updating it is the MLS. As there's new listings, those pages up.
Fresh, relevant content. And you notice Mr. McNeil is all ears right now because he's like, whoa, Jeremy just turned into from a salesperson to the techie.
Meet that search criteria. Does that make sense?
Does that make sense?
So that's what we do. And so we get really, really specific with these pages. So when somebody goes to Google and they're specific with what they want to look at, we give them a page to be able to land on. And it's not, doesn't guarantee that page is going to be the top hit. But what happens is, as time goes on, organically, naturally, without paying for pay-per-click or AdWords, it does start moving up in the rankings, which in turn makes your main website move up as well. Which, is why that, on average, our clients, they're generating, 30, 40, 50, 60, sometimes upward of 100, new leads a month from the IDX. That's the whole point, is to get them to the website, to get them searching. Once they start searching, there's going to be a lead capture, and then they'll put their contact info in. After they put their contact info in, they can continue searching. You're going to get the lead. The website's going to track their activity on your IDX. And then it's also going to start sending them emails of listings that they're interested in. So if they save the search that they're interested in.
So I'm just getting real basic with the website stuff, just kind of giving them some basic stuff. And then I'm going to shut up here and let's see what he says.
Keep in contact and do a contact management and send them listings as they appear on the MLS to send them stuff that they're interested in. The whole point is to get them to the site through the search engines and to get them searching. There's other ways.
Which is the same with all websites, right? I mean, that's all of them, all the
So I basically just broke down what the site does, and yeah, it's similar, but now I'm gonna, show them, talk to about what the main difference is between what iHouse Web and the other providers out there. And just so you know, if you guys are familiar with IDX, which is Information Data Exchange, it's used with many different things, and the data can be different. But in this case, we're talking about MLS data that's integrated with tech like websites and different feeds. Like if you go to a real estate website, the main feature is going to be able to search for properties. That's IDX.
Right, they're all. I had that before on Z57.
Well, with Z57, you're using a framed-in IDX, which is why you're paying the arm and the leg to be able to generate leads. So the difference with us in Z57 is we don't only provide websites, but we're the ones providing the IDX as well. The website was built around the IDX, which is why you're able to get rankings. Now, just to give you an example, let's say you have a listing called 123 Cherry Lane. On your current website, that address is not even in the coding of the website. It's part of the IDX, and the IDX is not part of the website. It's framed in. With us, it's coded in because the address can actually be found. And when Google goes and looks at your site and they send their crawlers out, all they see is coding. They can't see the IDX on your website because it's not part of it. So everything that we do on our IDX, you're actually getting credit for it. Thus, we're able to do much more. And that's the whole reason why I called you. And that's the reason why I spend 3 to 5 hours every day calling Z57 clients around the whole country. That's all I do. And I probably switch over 5 to 10 every single week. And that's really 90% of my personal business is bringing over Z57 clients. And seriously.
Seriously, that was no BS. Like that was my main role. That's all I did was just pick off clients from other providers because of our solution.
It's like taking candy. It's really, as long as you're willing to listen, like you are, it makes sense. And it does work, and that's really the way you want it. And I can set your website up. You're busy. You're going out of town. Let's just say that you went out.
So I give them an earful, make sure it makes sense to them, and then I'm going to reel them back in and try to lay that hook.
And when you come back and you haven't even done anything on your site, you're going to come back to a site that's fully functioning. You're going to come back to a site that's getting great traction with the search engines and starting to slowly move up in the rankings organically. I'm not going to promise that you're going to get first page rankings on family lists or homes for sale. That may happen eventually, but when we break down family lists of dispo by different areas and by price and by subdivision, all these different pages and all these different search terms is how you're going to be found. And that's what I'm proposing here. $80 a month, no setup fee, normally $600, basically giving it to you and allowing you to use the system. And
remember, when you're going for the close and you ask for it, it's important to keep it quiet. And we'll see if I do that.
the subscription.
The first one to talk loses.
You know what? Send me the contract.
Send me the contract.
There's no contract.
There's gotta be something.
No, there's no contract. What I do is you give me a credit card. You'll get an email with the IDX forms. You send it back to us, and we handle the rest. That's how it works. Now all we need to do is open up the account with some billing info. It's non-contract, Tom. So all I need to know is what kind of billing
I'm pretty sure that he's going to say no one or two more times.
to use for the account, and we get started on it right away.
Well, okay, now, so there's some other things that I want to clarify with other people too. You know, not that I doubt you.
I want to clarify with some other people, and that's just his instinct. He knows he's getting closed. His instinct is to back off, back off. We'll see what happens.
What about, losing any rankings that I have with having an old website on for D57? You know, I have online homes that have been there.
His concern is losing rankings, that type of thing. But we do what's called a. We're gonna point all the links. I forgot the name. Let's see what I say here, though.
You're not changing your domain name. We're using a different domain name.
Oh, I see.
You're keeping your Z57 side up. You're going to have two poles in the water. One that you're spending much less money on, and you're getting much bigger fish.
And then you point it. Now, I've already got Z57 pointing toward my other Z57, so that wouldn't matter either, right?
No, you can have as many real estate websites as you want out there. You're going to have a new domain name pointing to your iHouse Web Solutions website that's going to be completely separate from what you're doing with Z57.
If you guys are enjoying this content, make sure you smash that like button. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button so you can get more content like this.
Okay, I'll do it for a couple of months.
Boom! Okay. He said, okay, I'll do it for a couple of months. And that's all it took, guys. Okay. He said no. He's still saying no. He'll probably say no again 20 something times in 20 different ways. 20 minutes later and 12 years later, he's still a client of this company, guys. You need to keep going. Even when they say no, it's just a natural reaction. Keep talking to them. You never know where it's going to go, guys. Let's finish this call.
And in a couple of months, once you see that it's working really well for you and you're spending a lot less, you can cancel your other services, and we can also move over your current domain name to your new site.
Okay.
So all I need to know is what kind of credit card you want to use for the account.
And we have to get IDX stuff signed too, right? Because that'll take, that I can't do.
He's concerned about the paperwork, and that's also another way for us to stall. Now, at this point, I'm pretty confident that he's moving forward, but I want to wrap it up and make sure we get the billing info because at this time in my sales room, there's about 30 of my staff, my co-workers around me listening to the call to see what I do with it.
Done by my broker, right?
No, it's not for your broker. It's just for you. And you can get that back to us Monday or Tuesday or whenever you have time. But that's something you want to get back to us. If you can do it today, fine. If not, you can get it back to us Monday or Tuesday. When you get the confirmation email, it will be attached.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So what I would need is billing information.
Okay.
What kind?
Long story short, guys, you got to go through the no's to get to the yeses. You must go through the no's to get to the yeses. And that doesn't mean just with one person. Sometimes when you're calling and you're prospecting and you've set a couple of hours out to make some calls in your business, remember, you're going to hear no's. You're going to hear people say they don't have time. They're not interested. Go to head, go away. Sometimes they're not going to be nice at all. Okay? That's perfect. Just because you have to remember, as salespeople, you have to go through the no to get to the yes. The key is when you're experiencing no's and negativity, to not allow your mind frame and your purpose and your mindset to go astray because a couple of no's or a little bit of negativity. Okay? Keep in mind your goals. Keep in mind the big picture. Don't allow the no's to upset your positive mental attitude, and just keep moving forward. Because guess what? Even if he would have hung up, that would have been fine. We just move on to the next call because there would have been another one. And that doesn't matter what industry you're in, any industry, guys. Okay? If you need help with your calling, I'm available for some consulting, maybe some one-on-one training, depending on the situation. If you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you appreciate the content and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of my content going back to 2015. Lots of live videos of me making calls in action, live calls with actual prospects. Anything from these types of calls to real estate prospecting when it comes to listing generation, looking for fix and flip opportunities, that type of thing, for purchasing for investment, all of it. I have a lot of experience when it comes to outbound sales and marketing and technology and platforms and that type of thing. Now, I drop this content and this type of stuff because it pumps me up, but also because if I can just help one of you guys get through your day and be a little bit better than you were yesterday, even if it's just that 0.5% of that 1%, let's do it. I'm Jeremy Marquez with J Marqeting with a Q, Marqueting. You can check my socials out down below, and you'll also have a couple of links to Propstream, iSpeed to Lead, and a few other ones that I'm an affiliate with. That's how you can support me if you guys do value the content. Have a good day.